So I think without further ado, we should start with you ask, we answer.
Thank you very much again, Jonny, for this great intro and summary. And can I just add very, very quickly that I do meet people say to me, "Oh, I love the show that you do with Jonny." I say, "Yeah, but we don't know you do, so do leave those comments and likes and shares because it's very important. That's how we know that you're keeping track of our progress." Now, today's question is interesting. I got it via WhatsApp from one of my clients, Jonny, and I can't wait to hear your reaction and thoughts on that. So the question, literally word for word, is as follows. My business has grown over the years. I now have different services on offer. Do I need separate website for each one of them? Question mark.
Well, yes, age-old question. How many websites should I produce? I mean, over the years, I've seen businesses try all sorts of different tactics, and even from an SEO point of view, creating lots of websites. And then on the flip side, conflicting conversations. I was doing a podcast only 2 or 3 days ago with someone who focuses very heavy on strategy, and if he even became aware of the conversation around multiple services, he'd be like, whoa, bring it right in, focus on the one that's the really profitable, the really differential one. But I think, this all comes down to your organization, what it is you're selling, the types of services, and more importantly, your clients as well. I remember talking about Tesco, the supermarket, many, many years ago. And they had, when I did my research on them, we're talking like 10, 15 years ago, they had over 30 different domains. They had Tesco Pets, Tesco Insurance, Tesco Flowers, the Tesco main brand. They had the clothing brand, the Chewy brand. There was like 30 different websites they had. And I think they've heavily reduced that and brought and really amalgamated. I think it comes down to if services complement each other, if they work together, if they are fit for a similar audience, then you should look at having them on the same site. However, at the same time, though, if you have a service that's quite different and perhaps serves a very different type of audience, perhaps deserves a very different look and feel and style, then that's when you should be considering a separate site. And so I'm not sure there's a right and wrong answer. It's about just really thinking about who the users are, who the clients are, and why do you have all these services? Should you have all these services? And if the answer's definitely yes, then that's when to consider. But if the answer's no, that's the first question. Should I have all these services in the first place? So there's just some off the top of my head thoughts straight away.
No, it's great. It's very helpful because actually one consideration that I did miss initially was this idea of, are you perhaps guilty of enjoying the process of creating products and services a lot more than marketing them? And listen, hey, been there, done that, so I'm definitely not in a position to throw the first stone here. So this idea of your audience is in charge of your web presence, so are the services that you've come up with being validated by the marketplace, or is that actually the purpose of the website? You could use a website actually to validate, and something you've done a lot, Jonny, with your clients using Google AdWords and advertising to hurry along the market research and market intelligence. But this idea of, if you have the shared audience, as in the product and services, complement and supplement and make sense with the audience, it's probably a more comforting thought of everything under one roof. That may be the case. But if indeed, each product and services has a different audience, we're talking about different occupation, different sectors, different life stages, and so on. Perhaps if you want to turn to one of our webinars with Jonny, we talk about the 4 archetypes. Going onto the website, you have the investigator, the interrogator, the relationship builder, and the dreamer. And we use those as a trick of the mind to make sure that you've challenged the website content sufficiently. So you're absolutely right. That kind of correlation and the appeal of diversity, or are we back to this idea of a visitor goes on a website, there are so many so many options that they can't choose for themselves. So then is it the argument to have separate websites? So in my case, I launched a program uniquely for the film industry. Now, on the surface, it's the same service. It's the coaching, the mentoring, the training on digital marketing. It was so unique to the film industry and their needs that it felt that I had the business case for a separate website and have it under the filmmarketingacademy.com and not pascalfintoni.com. So the audience, actually, to your point, Jonny, will tell you, but you're right. Are we perhaps guilty of enjoying the process of creating product and services all of the time?
Yeah, that's the danger, isn't it? I remember analyzing my own services, and I came up with over 30 services that I supply and sell. And it was at that moment that I realized, hold on a minute, this is just way too many, and it was time to streamline. So and I think we've got both good examples. You've just talked about the Film Academy and your own website. Likewise, I have my agency Fleek Marketing, which has its website. I then have JonnyRoss.com, which is fractional CMO. Between us, we have the 90-day website mastery podcast.
That's right.
So we have separated the brands there and the services, but there's distinctive reasons, and they have different looks and feels, and they all complement, but they are very different audiences. So it can be. There's no yes or no, but it deserves some proper thought.
Yeah, and for me, one of the deciding factor about splitting was also the planning of the blog. And when I realized that the article was going to be so unique and relevant to that particular audience, that a business case was reinforced. So here's my promise to all of you. I will come back to you with an update on what the client has decided to do. We'll use it as a case study with their permission. But for now, let's move on to our next segment, the website stories.